Hey, welcome in. This is the wonderful podcast for January 17th, 2022. Final day of the LNPL just happened on Saturday. Here's your final. We came into today knowing that Ventures and Kimchi had already locked up first and second spot, but there was if you remember from last podcast, 3 through 9, third place through ninth place was on the line still going into the final two games. So I was with on Portland, by the way. We were third before the weekend. Lost our first match to um Chevrolet, or 876 God, sorry, who was fighting for their lives. There was a small chance if they lost both games they could have gotten relegated. So 876 Gods came out flying. But then I did beat OG Chem. I played striker. First match I ever played striker in a league match. Got my first ever goal in a league match and my final league match. So that was exciting, and by getting that win, we go up to third. Um, Ventures unfortunately didn't even make it to the games. They had already clinched the title, and it looks like there was already trouble in the team's camp. Maybe the only thing keeping them together was the fact that they were trying to win the title. So as soon as the title was clinched, a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure what's going to happen with them, but I would assume they'd be back. Kimchi finished the season with two more wins. Both were actually forfeits. A lot of forfeits coming into the last match. Kimchi had already locked up second place, so maybe they were just able to. Hopefully, all of Kimchi was still on and still got to play division matches and stuff, and just kind of celebrate a good season and hang out. Um, but then the way it looks like so. In that match, Portland OG Chem, I scored first to take the lead, but then OG Chem tied it. Had it stayed a draw, that would have took just on the fact that those 2 points right there would have took us from third all the way down to seventh, because it would have been a five-way tie with 50 points, and Portland has the worst goal differential almost out of anybody in the tops. Well, definitely anybody in the top seven. Elite 868 actually -2. But you know how they go. They have great home games and bad away games because of the Trinidad servers. But yeah, Cobra Kai with a 4 point weekend, getting a win over Mixed Gaming and a draw to Orlando by virtue of the best goal differential out of the four people on 50 gets fourth place. Real Orlando with the three-time defending champions get fifth, which they also had a 4 point weekend. Their first win was against Elite 868, who also didn't show up. Um, and then this must have been a crazy game. We might have a guest on. It is going to be a shorter show. I see I have no viewers because I'm not even in the Discord that posts the link. So that's why I was telling you guys to make sure to subscribe, so you get the notifications when we're on air. But I'll just keep going. It's not. It wasn't. I wasn't going to make it a long show tonight anyway. But I did want to go. There was some drama in the relegation. We'll get to that. But Orlando then this 3-3 draw right here with Cobra Kai was pretty meaningful. If one of them picks up a win there, I think they get third place since Portland's goal differential wasn't good. Mixed Gaming, they lost that match to Cobra Kai and then got a forfeit win over Eruption, so that puts them at 50. So Cobra Kai with some pretty tough games. Could have gotten third place had Portland drew this game with OG Chem. Elite 868 didn't. I think they were fourth coming into the weekend, but they didn't show up. So 2-3-0 losses there. Puts them at 48 points, eighth place. OG Chem started the weekend at ninth and got 0 points to stay at nine. The Crew, who's trying to get out of the relegation zone, with a big 3-0 win over OG Chem, and then the game against Portland I was telling you guys about. Raptors also had a chance to move up to the table, but only 1 point on the weekend. A 1-1 draw to Galaxy, and then a huge 5-2 victory for Chevrolet in the final match of the season against a pretty good team in Raptors. 5-2 victory puts Cheverly in 13th and safe from the relegation zone. 2 wins on the final day, 3 in a row. Looks like undefeated in 4 against some good teams. The last 2 teams to win the title in LNPL, Orlando and Portland. Chevrolet got the draw against them, then rolled off 3 wins, one against Galaxy, a forfeit win against Vikings, and then a huge win against Raptors to stay out. That was my prediction for since before Christmas that Chevrolet was going to get out, and I thought Ruption was going to go in. And even though they didn't show up on the final day, that Sunday the week before, where they got 4 points, was just what they needed, especially this 1-0 win over Indomitables. So that gave them exactly what they needed to stay out of the relegation fight. Like I said, 876 guys was kind of in the fight, but came out strong against Portland. And then their next match was a forfeit win over Vikings. So 876 guys with plenty of room to spare. Like I said, Chevrolet I think they avoided relegation with this win right here. We'll have to scroll down, but here are the people who didn't make it. Now, the final match of the season, remember we said, who was it that lost 3-0 to, somebody lost 3-0 to OG Chem, lost 3-0 to the Crew, but by Chevrolet winning that final match, the Crew's win over Indomitables, 1-0 win, was enough to keep Chevrolet out, because then Indomitables did not get the win they needed. If Indomitables win this final match of the season against the Crew, they would have stayed out of the relegation fight. They would have been tied on 28 points with the better goal differential. Remember, Chevrolet started out the season with some of the worst goal differential after 2 weeks that I've ever seen. Shout out to them for let's see exactly when the undefeated streak started. Was it just those 5 games? No, so the undefeated streak for Chevrolet started all the way back 7 games ago. So a tough loss to the eventual champions and the clear-cut second place team right before that. They got a forfeit win over Eruption right before all of that, but then rolled off a 1-0 win over Mix, 3-1 over the Crew, which looking back, that was a decider for relegation. And then, like we said, getting a draw against the last 2 teams to win the LNPL title, and then 3 huge. I mean, this 5-2 game right here is definitely one you might want to go find on YouTube. Probably was epic for Chevrolet. So Chevrolet, congrats getting out of the relegation fight. And then the Crew actually were eliminated because of that win by Chevrolet, but they probably had no idea that um, they were thinking probably a win is enough to get them out of the relegation fight. Because even if Chevrolet draws this match with Raptors, the Crew would have been out with that 1-0. So the Crew is eliminated, and unlucky for Indomitables, they had their chances late in the season, bro. Um, just couldn't get it done in the key matches. Like I said, the 1-0 loss to the Crew as would have, if Indomitables win that last match, they win or they get out of promotion. They also lost 1-0 the Eruption just the game before that on the last weekend. Um, Definitely had their chance. Like Raptors beat Indomitables, but Raptors lost to Chevrolet. That was another, so super close on the relegation. Other than Vikings, who didn't show up after getting a lot of forfeits before that. I think the last game they played, they lost 6-0 to the Crew, and then never played again. So hopefully they stay in Division 2, second year in a row that Vikings got relegated. Indomitables made it up as second place finishers in D2 last season, but are going back down to D2 for the next season. So unlucky for them. The Crew, I doubt they will stick around for D2, but we'll see. Maybe they will. Chevrolet got into from D2 last season, just barely escaped. Ruption, like I was saying, that Sunday, the previous week, kept them out with the key 4 points there. Even if they draw this match with Indomitables, I think No, because the Crew's at minus 29, so they still would have been safe. So if they lose that match to Indomitables, Ruption and Crew get relegated. So that's how close this was. Pretty crazy. Shout out to everybody that was working hard to get out of that relegation fight. Unlucky to the teams that did go down. So unfortunately, I only put in the matches on Saturday night. I had been putting in all the stuff like lineups, stats, and whatnot every Saturday and Sunday night, so that everything's in by the time you guys wake up the next day. But I figured since there was no Sunday games, I was just going to do it Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, somewhere along there. But by the time I logged in to do that, I had already been kicked to the curb as an admin. I had told them I'd stay till Monday, do a final podcast today, which I'm doing right now. And but they were in a hurry to get rid of me, so I just left and yesterday instead of today, since I needed access to everybody's team threads to be able to put in the lineups and stuff like that and find this. It was just whatever. The only thing is I don't know if Galaxy is one of the teams. I know Dylan Taylor sometimes puts in his stats, but these stats aren't going to be any different than last week unless Galaxy put theirs in. Which the only race that was left was the assist race, and I don't know if Legend Kid got 3 more assists or not. We could, I guess, go back and see what were the scores of the Galaxy games to see if they even had enough goals. Um, so Galaxy with a 3-0 forfeit, so they didn't even get a chance in the last game. And then the one before that was a 1-1 draw, so that means Legend Kid did not get enough assists. Unfortunately, didn't get to play that last game. So shout out to It's Dennis for the assist leader for the season. Um, did great things for Ventures all the way through. Congrats again to Ventures for winning the title, by the way. So Legend Kid might have finished with 20 at the very most. And then, like I said, no other stats are put in for these final 2 games. We already knew nobody was catching Pretty Boy Q with only 2 games to go. So shout out to the Golden Boot, Jaden Rose / Pretty Boy Q for the Golden Boot. Just a reminder, we saw the teams that were going down. Chevrolet made it out, which put the Crew, Indomitables, and Vikings down. The teams that will be replacing them are in Fuego, Haiti, CF, and then the winners of the playoffs, Sun City. So those will be the replacement teams. I'm not quite sure what the league's going to do for the teams that didn't get relegated but aren't coming back, because I can tell you for a fact that Portland is not coming back. We finished 3rd, so there's 1 spot open. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. If it was me, I would do some kind of playoff or something. Um, Maybe like if you want to be fair to everybody, have all 3 of these teams and then the 3 teams, or maybe like these 2 teams, and then you could have a. I don't know exactly what they're going to want to do, but I would do some kind of playoff. Still no viewers. Hopefully you guys find this on demand. And no guest. I did send out the link to a few people. But yeah, sorry, I was already out of the Discord, so I couldn't post the link. Hopefully you guys find this later on. But yeah, the relegation battles were crazy. It was down to the wire for sure. Like the Crew probably thought they were out once they won those 2 games last night. But Chevrolet did just enough to keep them away. So shout out to Chevrolet. Let me check my phone. No word from any of the people I sent the link to. I don't really have too much else to talk about. I can go through a few things I wanted to give, like some tutorials and stuff on different things I learned throughout um, what do you call it? Just doing all this stuff as I'm stepping away now. So let me bring up. I'm sure this is self-explanatory to a lot of people, but let's see here. So this is. Oh, it's not showing up. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can bring this even up on the thing. All right, here we go. So this is the Screen Recorder Pro is what I downloaded from MacBook. Um, but there's plenty of screen recorders out there. You can even do this on your phone. I've seen Sarge make highlight videos of his goalie saves, which are great. If you can find those, shout out Sarge. If you want to watch some insane saves, they're like 5 minutes, two different videos, 5 minutes long. But if you remember all the highlight videos and stuff I put on Twitter, this is how I did it. It looks like I can't show two screens at once, but basically I would use this I to I would bring up a page on YouTube, like a stream, and you can do just goals, or you can watch the whole match and put like good defensive stops and saves as well. Um, Now, normally, if you it or normally I make my videos 2 minutes long, at least 2 minutes and 20. The highest amount I would do it is 2 minutes 19 seconds. That's the longest video you can put on Twitter, which is the social media I use. But you can use any social media, Instagram. I know TikTok was getting a lot of views. Um, when Abringus was taking some of my videos and putting them on YouTube for the tournament for the highlight videos, they were getting more views on TikTok. But yeah, it's going to be hard for me to show, but pretty much it's self-explanatory. Um, I can't go back and forth between the two windows, but you would just find the stuff you want. Like I said, you could just go to the goals of the game and record the goals. So what you would do is you would screen record it, and then keep hitting pause on the record, and then like bring up the next play you want to do, hit record again, and then when you're done with everything, you go through and you just simply edit out the times where you were pausing and making it go full screen and stuff like that. And that's how you get a nice highlight video. You don't have to be a manager to do highlight videos. You could do it as a player. You could do it just for things from that you do. You could do it for the whole team. Maybe just any highlight goals, but definitely use some kind of screen recorder. It's gonna get you the highlight videos that you want. Um, so apologies, I couldn't show you step by step how to do it here because I would have to go move the screens around. But if you have any questions, just shout me out. Um, the other thing is, if you guys want to make your own podcast or anything like this, um, Jigga was the one that originally showed me StreamYard is the website that I use to do this. So if you guys want to make your own podcast, it could be about anything. Like it doesn't even have to be about pro clubs, or it could be just about your team, or you could do different pro clubs on leagues and different stuff. Just have your own podcasts and stuff. So you would create an account. Um, it's totally free. For the free version, you get 20 hours a month, which I've never gone over the 20-hour mark. So 20 hours is enough with the free version. With the paid version, you get unlimited and a few other things. You can even have more people join. I think right now the max people is 5 or 6 guests at a time. But if you wanted more than that, you would have to upgrade. But 5 or 6 guests is definitely enough on the free version. So once you create your account, you can then set up For me, I have my YouTube page attached to it. You could set up your Twitch page, and there's different options as well for where you want to. I think you can stream at both Twitch and YouTube at the same time if you wanted to. So then once you have something attached to your account, for me it's YouTube. Then you would just create a new broadcast. I'm not going to click it in case it kicks me off of this stream. But once you hit new broadcast, it just brings you up. Where do you want to stream it? I would click YouTube, and then it gives you what do you want to name it? Do you want to have a description? And then once you do that, you're ready to go. Everything else from there is self-explanatory. Maybe I'll bring up the other window I have here, the one I use for. So this is gonna look weird because it's gonna show me like 7 times, but this is the other window where like I can click on different things. Like if I want my picture to be over here and have the screen a little bit bigger, I could have just the screen, um, and then I could have just me. So over here, which I'm not, I gotta show the screen to show you. So over here, I can click like remove, then I add myself back. Down here, let me get rid of this. Share. Um, this is the stop screen, but normally it would say start screen. So that's how it would show you. That's how I can show the web page I'm on. And then invite over here. That's where you get your link to send the people to have them join. So pretty easy if you guys want to do your own podcast. Um, like I said, it's free. And you see me over here. I don't have any microphone. I don't have any special stuff. I'm just a MacBook. That's it. Um, but you guys could go all out if you want. Get your own microphone, stuff like that. But yeah, doesn't look like I'm having any guests. We went through everything I wanted to go through. Um, I could go more in depth into these tutorials, but I don't know. I guess I got nothing else to say. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep doing podcasts, but make sure you subscribe to the channel, um, just in case I do. And hopefully you guys find this on demand at some point. And good luck. Congratulations again to Ventures. Unfortunate to the relegation teams, and hope you guys have a good season next season. But I'm out. Peace.